applied maths, geometry, physics, 3D spacing and color combination into our game. Hi guys, it's been a long time. However, I'm back with a surprise. Today, I'll be showing you how to create a game step by step using Unreal Engine version 5.0.3. So without any further ado, let's get started. So before designing the game, we need to follow 3 steps. Design the game, implement the logic, and then finally test the game. Now, let's get into designing the game. You know what? Designing a game is like narrating a story. Isn't it cool? Yeah. In a story, there's a hero, lots of hurdles in between, and the win. And then you finally win. So similarly, a game has an actor, lots of hurdles in between, and finally you win a trophy at the end. So now let's start creating the game. So first let's create the materials. Let's create a folder first and name it materials. And let's just add a material to it. Name it fire. And then let's just open the material. And here we come to the material editor. Let's go to my textures folder. And here I'm going to drag and drop the fire and just put it in. Now we are going to create a constant so that we can create a roughness, which is like a reflective texture that we can put. And we're done with the material. Now let's save it. As you can see, it looks so epic texture, right? Now let me create the similar texture to my water and my sand. As you can see, I've saved all the materials right here. As you can see, fire, sand and water. Now let me go to the starter content folder and click on materials. Here we have a brick texture that I want. So let me just put it into my materials folder So now let's create a brick so that we can make our ground grass. So let's click on this plus and let's go to shapes and add a cube. So this is our floor right here. Let's just put the ground grass texture to this. Wow, that looks so realistic, right? Now we need to create the blueprint. So let's click on the content drawer. Let's create a new folder called BP, which is blueprint terrain, terrain enemy. And let's just double click on that. Let's create a blueprint class and make it actor. And now let's name this BP underscore fire. Let's double click on this, the blueprint class editor. Now we need to add a cube and we need to scale it up and all. So that's pretty repeating over here. Okay, now we need to start the actual coding, which is so fun. So let's delete these 2 nodes at the top and the bottom. We just need them this middle node. Let's just connect this to a spawn emitter. Okay, so we have this middle event actor built-in overlap. We just need to cast it to our actual person. So let's cast it to the BP third person character, and from this we are going to add a spawn emitter at location like that, and that spawns the emitter. Let's select the preset that we want. We want an explosion in this case. Now we need to add the location of the emitter. So for that let's just drag and drop this and let's add get actor location. There we go. And let's just put this return value to the location. Now what we need to do is simply just drag this one and play a sound. Let's go to the content drawer, drag and drop this up, and let's move this down to the component. Okay, it's not moving down. it to that. There we go. And I'm quickly gonna assign it, position it a bit far away so that I can make it a long road, because I want a long road. Again, I'm going to make a longer. Click on the skylight and just remove it. Now if we save and hit play, it is back in our normal, and there we go. So to make this work, let's just go right here in our details and add we need to add a box collision, because there was no collision to it. It was not working. So now we need to adjust the collision. Let's adjust it a bit, and there we go. Now I think it will work. So let's test it up. As you can see, it does work. Right? So that's how it works. Now we just need to make sure that the character dies. To make sure the character dies, let's go to third person blueprints, and here. So this is the third person blueprint. Let's first create a custom event, and for this custom event, what we're just going to do is rename the custom event to ragdoll. And because this is a ragdoll, we need to make sure there are physics. So set simulate physics, and it adds a mesh automatically. Make sure simulate is on. Now click on the mesh right here and make sure the collision presets is the physics actor. Now let's hit compile, save, and let's go back to the third person map. And now to make sure this is this works correctly, what we're going to do is add a mesh here and set sim physics mesh. So for the mesh, we're going to do that, and now let's hit compile, save, and play sound 2D, and that is the explosion cue. Move this a bit away, put this out, and now let's add another one, which is our ragdoll event that we created, the ragdoll function, right here in the BP third person. So compile, save it, and now let's compile, save it in the BP fire as well. Now let's hit play, and now so create the ragdoll, and what we need to do is just put this right here, and let's put this one right here. Now let's hit compile, save, and now if we play the game, so let's hit play, and now as you can see, the character is dead. So it now worked, right? So now let's just add the blocks, which are the green grass blocks now, okay? So now let's add the green grass blocks or the white blocks. Let me add a shape, which is a cube, and the cube is right over there. So for the cube, let's add a shape, which is the cube, and let's just move it down a bit, just like that. And I'm just going to move this cube somewhere over there. And now let me just hit Alt and now let us quickly move this in the middle, like just like that. Now, the problem here is if I test the game and if I go jump through the block and if I die in the middle, I don't respawn back, right? I don't respawn back. So, to make me respawn back, what we need to do is we need to add another code for the respawn. So let's add that code. So let's go to the third person game mode, and right here I'm going to add a script for the respawn. Code respawn player. So add the custom event and we'll call add a spawn player. So we'll spawn our actor from class, and we'll just make this split structure so it looks like this. Now select the class which is going to be our let's make the class BP third person character, and from here we'll just add a possessive node. Okay, the possessive node, this is the BP third person game mode. So for this to work in the object, we're gonna add a get game mode, and let's put this get game mode, and at the end over here what we're going to put is our respawn player. So as you can see, that is done. Now we need to call our death function into the ragdoll. So let's go back to the ragdoll, and after this set simulate physics, we're just going to add a delay so that there's a delay in the death. Now, so before adding the delay, I'm going to show you what's going to happen without the delay. So let's straight up add the death function, and let's hit compile, save, and third person map. Now it's definitely going to work. As you can see, it is working. It's respawning somewhere there. But if I add the delay, so if I go here and add a delay between this, see, I couldn't see the animation, right? So that's why I can add a delay, which will allow me to add a delay of 1.5 seconds. My opinion, 1.5 seconds allows you to see the whole animation. So let me put 1.5 seconds. That is good. And now, before that, first you could see that when we were testing it, we were spawning at a 0.0 location. And we wanted to restart in this location, right? For that, what we need to do is we need to create another blueprint class. So let's go to our third person. Right here I'm going to create a blueprint class, and which is an actor. We'll name it our BP spawn boss. So this is basically our spawn position, and what we're going to do is just add a billboard which is gonna show us one random character like this. That's it. That's now. If we go back here, what we can do is just make this back again, recombine this again. Now just drag and drop it into the player respawn player. Now come back over here, and you will see that there is Okay, so now as you can see, you find this get the spawn transform. So for that, what we're going to do is to connect this get to the spawn transform. So what we need to do is just put this get over here to the object. Let's just make some space in there. Let's put this there. This here, yeah. Now just drag and drop this and get the actor transform. Yeah. And just put this return value to the spawn transform. Done. That's what we need to do. And now if we hit compile and save, you might be able to see this note which says you don't need to put the cast. So what we can do is just remove it, because if it says, we can just remove it and just put this to the side like that. Now we can go back here and the respawning will work. So as you can see, one delay, done. So this respawning is now working and we are done. Now we just need to make the water. Now you don't need to worry, because you don't need to create the code all again. That's because we can just duplicate this fire. So let's duplicate it and name it BP water. And let's just save this blueprint. Double click to open it. Now let's go to the viewport, and if I go right near my lava, we don't want this to be lava, right? We want this to be water. So what we are going to do is go to our materials section. We'll go to our materials, and in our materials, what we are going to do is just scroll down here and let's add the water texture. Just drag and drop it. Done! That's it! I know it's surprising and you must be so surprised how it is so easy, but that's it! That's all you needed to do, yeah, for the water. I know it's surprising, but that's what you needed to do. So, now let's just drag and drop it so that we can position it. And from the height, I'm going to make it only a bit bigger so that when they're jumping, they don't have so much difficulty. If I make it too big, it will have lots of difficulty on their jumping. So I need to. So as you can see, we were done with adding the collision box for this faster, because we already knew how to add the collision box for them. Now, I think let's test it. So let's hit play, and here we are. Oh my god, I almost about to fall. Oh yay. Oh no. Let's play. Yes. The challenging thing over here is that the boxes are so small, you have to adjust yourself. Wow! I'm able to jump. Yay! I'm able to jump. Yay! Fine. So now we can jump there. Yes. So now we are back in the water. And now let's go to materials. Drag and drop the sand in there. So, and now let me just do that. Now we just need to select this and hit Alt and put it right here. Let's attach it correctly, and let's make it a bit bigger like that. Metal rust gives like a muddy effect, so I just want the mud over here. Now we need to create the structure of the trophy room. Finally, yes. So to create the trophy room, it's simple. Just go to starter content architecture. You'll find the floor. Just put a nice floor into your trophy room. So let's quickly move it that side. And let me stretch it up until that. And let me make it this much big. So just like that is the trophy room. I know it's small but enough for a trophy room. Now what we need to do is put the wall door 300 by 400 for wall door 400 by 300. Now just quickly rotate it in the Z axis. So let me rotate it. I think this is the right number for the rotating, and let's place it there. Now let me scale it just like there we go. Now let's add the textures. So let us go to my materials folder and let me drag and drop the wood floor to that. I know it sounds so not so good when you put a wood texture to the ceiling, but I thought that was a cool idea. Now let's put this brick wall to this wall, and I think I have some problems going on, and just to fix that I can just go right like that. Let me select this side, and now let me select this side. Now let me just push it back. And there we go. Let me break this texture there, and I think well. So let's make this a bit bigger, just like that. I think that looks like the perfect size. Now let's move it down in the Z axis, just like that. Now we can hit. Now let me hit play. So I've just done a bit of changes, like the scale of the items, so that the actor can easily jump in. So let me go. And go! We're done with the fire level. Now comes the hard one, the water level. Okay, good. And there. And go. Now. Good. So as you can see, we have finally ended the water level. Now we have come back to the sand. So let's quickly go across this sand. And now we come to the trophy room. As you can see in the trophy room, I have made it much bigger, the trophy room. And inside, as you can see, the trophy is pretty big now, right? And also, as you can see, the textures we applied come so good and realistic, right? Now, as you can see, we are done with the design, logic and testing of our game. And you know what? We have applied maths, geometry, physics, 3D spacing and color combination into our game. So if you want to learn how to make these type of cool games, then subscribe to my classes and I'll see you next time. Bye!